Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at home. Today we are going to discuss with our new topic of chapter 5, that is separation of substances. Okay, so before starting our today's topic, let's quick revise what we have done in our previous class. We have done why do we need to separate the substances. Okay, so there are three reasons that why do we need to for separation of substances, right? So first reason is that to remove the harmful substances from the mixture, and second reason to obtain the useful components, and third reason to remove the or to remove undesirable components. All right, then we studied some separation techniques, or you can say separation methods. That is, first is hand picking, and it is done by hand as the name suggests. Second is sieving, and it is done by using sieve, right? And third is threshing. Threshing is a process of separation of grains from stalks, right? And last topic that we discussed in our previous class is winnowing. So winnowing, we are able to separate the particles which are of similar sizes, but they have different in their densities. Okay, so let's start with today's topic. So today we are going to talk about sedimentation, decantation, and filtration, and some other separation techniques. So what I mean by sediment, let's start with this. So suppose we have a liquid which contains some solid particles suspended in it. Now if this liquid is allowed to stand undisturbed for some time, as you can see in this picture, then the heavier particles of the solid will sink to the bottom of the beaker. Now the solid matter which settles down at the bottom of a liquid is called a sediment. You can see in this picture, right? So, and the deposition of solid matter at the bottom of a liquid is called sedimentation. So after sedimentation we get two layers. The upper layer is of clear liquid, and the lower layer is of sediment. So now we can pour out the clear liquid into another beaker and separate it from the sediment. So the pouring out of a liquid from a vessel without disturbing the sediment is called decantation, right? So I hope it is clear to you all that what is sedimentation and what is decantation. See, sedimentation में क्या आता है? The separation of insoluble particles from water under the influence of gravity. We know that sugar completely dissolve in water, but instead of sugar, if you take sand, so sand will not get dissolved in water, right? So if you take some sand and put it in water and stir it completely, but the moment you stop stirring, you leave it undisturbed for some time, and after some time, what you are able to see that all sand particles tend to settle down at the bottom, and this is called sedimentation. So sedimentation is always followed by decantation. Okay, right? So let me show you one video so the topic will be more clear to you all.
Sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. In this module, you will learn to separate mud from muddy water by sedimentation and separation of clean water by decantation and filtration. How to get clean drinking water from this muddy water? Well, we shall use few methods to separate the mud from this water-mud mixture. For this activity, we need two beakers, a sample of muddy water, a tea strainer, a piece a sample of muddy water, a tea strainer, a piece of cloth, funnel, and filter paper. When the heavier component in a mixture settles, the process is called sedimentation. After sedimentation, the process of removal of water above the sediment is called decantation. Separation of finer impurities from the decantate using a filter paper is known as filtration. Take some muddy water in a beaker. It is a mixture of soil and water. Stir this mixture well and leave to settle for half an hour. The mud settles down at the bottom of the beaker by the process of sedimentation. Now, transfer the water at the top of the settled mud by tilting the beaker to another empty, clean beaker. The water thus obtained is called decantate. As the next step, pour the decantate through a tea strainer. This is called filtering. Is it possible to get the clean water after filtering the decantate with the tea strainer? No, the tea strainer is not able to filter the fine particles as you see the filtrate. It is not clear and contains mud. See, the water obtained is to be filtered with a fine cloth. Some mud has deposited on the cloth, but the water obtained after filtration still contains mud. A filter paper which can separate the fine particles of mud from the water. A filter paper has smaller pores than cloth and hence can be used for this purpose. Place the filter paper in the funnel and pour the water obtained after filtration with cloth. Look at the filter paper after filtration. You can see that fine particles of mud are deposited on the filter paper and the filtrate obtained is free from impurity. In this module, you have learnt that when the heavier component in a mixture settles, the process is called sedimentation. The process of removal of water above the sediment is called decantation. Separation of finer impurities from the decantate using a filter paper is known as filtration. The use of a filter paper is a better choice for effective filtration as it has small pores. Sedimentation.
So I hope sedimentation, decantation and filtration is clear to you all. Now where do we use decantation? See, the process of decantation is used in our everyday life. This will become more clear from the following examples. Rice and pulses जो हम मार्केट से खरीदते हैं usually have dust or soil particles as impurities in them. So rice and pulses are always washed before cooking. So when we add water to rice or pulses taken in a vessel, then the impurities such as dust and soil particles get separated and go into water. Due to this, the water becomes a little dirty and the rice or pulses being heavy remain at the bottom of the vessel, and dirty water is separated by decantation by tilting the vessel to one side. So when rice and pulses are washed with water before cooking, then the water is separated from them by decantation. So remember that the process of decantation can be used for separation only when the solid doesn't dissolve in the liquid. Okay. So also the method of decantation can also be used for separating two immiscible liquids, means which do not mix with each other. Okay. So next is loading. What do you mean by loading? Loading, sometimes the water fetched from a river, lake or pond is muddy due to the presence of fine clay particles suspended in it, and these suspended clay particles are very small and take a long time to settle down on their own. So if we want to obtain clear water from the muddy water by decantation, then it will take a lot of time, right? So settling down of suspended clay particles of muddy water can be made faster by the process of loading, And loading is the process in which alum particles are deposited, as you can see in this picture, right, on suspended clay particles of muddy water to make them heavy and settle down rapidly, right. So alum जो घर पे फिट करी होती है उसे हम alum बोलते हैं. Okay, so loading helps the suspended clay particles to settle down rapidly. So this is known as loading. Okay, so I hope कि filtration भी आपको clear हो from the video that I have shown you, right? So what do you mean by filtration? Filtration, the process of removing insoluble solids from a liquid by using a filter paper, is known as filtration. And filtration is used for separating insoluble substances from a liquid. The mixture of insoluble solid and the liquid is poured into a filter paper cone fixed in a funnel by using a glass rod as a guide, right? As you can see in this picture, in this diagram, the liquid passes through the filter paper and collects in a beaker kept below the funnel. The solid particles, जो being bigger in size, do not pass through the filter paper and remain behind on the filter paper. So the solid substance left behind on the filter paper is called residue, solid residue, and the clear liquid which obtained is called filtrate. Okay, so in this way, a mixture of insoluble solid in a liquid is separated into the solid and clear liquid. So a mixture of chalk and water is separated by filtration. In science experiments, we use a filter paper as filter for carrying out the process of filtration. But in everyday life, different kinds of filters are used. For example, a wire mesh, a piece of cotton, a piece of muslin cloth, strainer, or even a layer of sand can be used as filters for various purposes. Okay, so in many homes, drinking water is filtered by using special water filters made of procylene, which you will learn in your higher classes, which remove the bacteria from it. All right. So I hope this sedimentation, decantation, filtration and loading is clear to you all. Now let's come to next topic, that is separation of soluble solids from a mixture, right? So what do you mean by evaporation? Evaporation is used to obtain a solid substance that has dissolved in water. Okay, so the common salt dissolved in water can be separated by the process of evaporation. So what is evaporation? It is a process in which water is heated to get converted into water vapor. So the common salt dissolved in water can be separated by the process of evaporation, and the process is based on the fact that liquid vaporize easily on heating whereas solids do not. Okay, so this is done as follows, that the solution of common salt and water is taken in a procylene dish, as you can see in this diagram, and heated gently by using a burner. The water present in salt solution will form water vapor and escape into atmosphere. When all the water present in the solution of common salt and water gets evaporated, then common salt is left behind in the procylene dish as a white solid. Right? Clear? So the process of evaporation is used on a large scale to obtain common salt from seawater. Okay, seawater is trapped in shallow lakes, जिसे हम lagoons कहते हैं, and allowed to stand there. So what happens? जो heat of sun gradually evaporates the water in the shallow lakes, and common salt is left behind as a solid. Actually, you know that seawater contains many salts dissolved in it. So the major salt in seawater is, however, the common salt, right, which we use in our homes. So when seawater is evaporated, we get a mixture of salts, and common salt is obtained from this mixture of salts by further purification. And please note that the chemical name of common salt is sodium chloride. Okay, so it should be noted that during the evaporation of water solution, we get the dissolved solid substance, but water cannot be recovered in this method. Water evaporates into the atmosphere. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone what is evaporation. All right. So let's see now another method, that is condensation. Okay, so what do you mean by condensation? The process in which water vapor is cooled to get converted into liquid water. Okay, so जब हम वेपर को कूल करेंगे वो लिक्विड में कन्वर्ट होता है, और जब लिक्विड को हीट करेंगे तो वो वेपर में कन्वर्ट होता है. हैव यू एवर नोटेड व्हेन यू कुक समथिंग यूटेंसिल इज वेरी हॉट, राइट? So vapors are being formed. When you cover the hot utensil with a cold lid, what do you see? You see a droplets of water on this lid, and on the inner surface of lid. From where these droplets come? From where these droplets come? Water vapor condenses. Temperature get lower down when you covered with lid, and you take out okay, another example. If you take out a cold glass of water from the refrigerator and keep it outside at room temperature for a couple of minutes, so what you will observe, that you see a tiny droplets of water on the outer surface, and it is nothing but a moist warm air condensate. So what is condensation? Process in which water vapor is cooled to get converted into liquid water. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone, evaporation and condensation. So let's come to next topic. Okay, so your next topic is use of more than one method of separation. See, it is not always possible to separate substances by using just one method. So for example, to separate a mixture of oil, water and fine sand particles, you will have to first separate oil by the process of decantation, and further the soil particles can be separated by the process of filtration. Okay, so it is not necessary कि हमेशा separation के लिए एक ही method हो, तो बहुत सारे मेथड यूज़ हो सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हाउ विल यू सेपरेट अ मिक्सचर ऑफ सैंड एंड सॉल्ट? दिस मिक्सचर कंटेन्स टू components, sand and salt. Now salt is soluble in water, whereas sand is insoluble in water. So this difference in the solubility of salt and sand is used to separate them. This is done as follows. Some water is added to the mixture of sand and salt in a beaker and stirred. Salt dissolve in water to form salt solution. लेकिन जो sand है वो undissolved रह जाती है, so it is then filtered. On filtering, sand is obtained as a residue on this filter paper and salt solution obtained as filtrate. Now, salt solution is evaporated when pure salt is left behind. So, filtration and evaporation, both the method are used to separate a mixture of sand and salt. Okay. Now, types of solution. See, we have learned in the previous lesson that salt dissolve in water to form a salt solution. So, in salt solution, salt is called the solute and water is called the solvent. So, the resultant mixture is called the solution. Alright. So, what do you mean by solution? A solution is thus a homogeneous mixture in which the components that make up the mixture are uniformly distributed throughout the mixture. Now, there are two types of solution, that is unsaturated and the saturated solution. We know that a given quantity of water can dissolve only a certain maximum amount of substance at a particular temperature. So, and if we go on adding more and more of the substance in a given quantity of water, then the excess substance will remain undissolved in water, and this will become more clear from the following example or the following activity. Just take a beaker and put 100 milliliter of water in it and add 1 teaspoonful of salt to water and stir it with the help of a glass rod, or you can take a spoon, until the salt dissolves completely. Again add a teaspoonful of salt and stir it well. We go on adding more and more salt in water with constant stirring to dissolve it. After adding a number of spoons of salt, we will find that some salt is left undissolved at the bottom of the beaker. This means that no more salt can be dissolved in the quantity of water which we took in the beaker, right? So now the solution is said to be saturated. Okay. So, a solution in which no more substance can be dissolved at that temperature is called a saturated solution. Are you getting my point? And what do you mean by unsaturated solution? When a solution can dissolve some more of the solute, then it is called unsaturated solution. And now, what do you mean by solubility? The maximum amount of a substance which can be dissolved, in 100 grams of water at a given temperature is known as a solubility. Or you can say the maximum amount of solute which is needed to make a saturated solution in a given liquid is called solubility. I hope it is clear to everyone. Right. Now, effects of heating and cooling on a saturated solution. So if the saturated solution of a substance at a particular temperature is heated to a higher temperature, then the solubility of substance increases and more of substance can be dissolved in it. And if the saturated solution of a substance at a particular temperature is cooled to a lower temperature, then its solubility decreases. Are you getting my point? अगर आप किसी saturated solution को heat करोगे higher temperature में तो solubility increase हो जाएगी, और अगर आप cool करोगे to a lower temperature, then the solubility of the substances decreases and some of the dissolved substance will separate out in the form of solid crystals. I hope this is clear to everyone. So this chapter is completed. And that's it for today. If you have any problem in any of the topic, you can ask me in the class. So bye bye everyone, take care, have a nice day.